Hey everybody, today I'm going to be replacing part of the windshield from 2018 Sea Hunt B25 BX FS, which is the forward seating. This was one of the early models with the full windshield, and if you're watching this you may have noticed that the acrylic they used at first tends to craze from sunscreen, or really for any reason, just age, I think. So the starboard side of my boat, which is here, you can kind of see looking down how bad that is. Part of that is from sunscreen that was on there, and it's just gotten worse over time. So I tried to replace the newer models have glass, and unfortunately my model is newer, and the front windshield has a bit of a curve to it, if you can see that arc, and so it's not an option to replace. But I did buy a replacement set of acrylic panels I'm going to put in, which was $500 from the manufacturer, and I started per their instructions using a razor knife here, and I ran it right along this seam here, and then I used a cushion to not screw up the powder coating, and I took this screwdriver here and I pried up the edge of this, as you can see, which actually started coming pretty easily once it started to go. So I am working on getting the rest of this out. Okay, so I've started this, and I'm going to keep pulling it. Try not to fall off the boat here. I was trying to avoid using tools as much as possible, just to try to not ding the powder coat. As you can see down here, it's already chipping and flaking around where the bolt holes probably scratched it when they mounted it. I don't know why Sea Hunt doesn't offer a non-powder coat option on these full glass enclosures, but they don't. So just try to keep it looking as good as I can here, and try to pry this a little more, and it should start to go pretty easily. Alright, so as you can see, once it started to go, this is, I believe, 4200. When I bought the panels, they sent a full tube of it to rebed all of the replacements with. So luckily it's not 5200, and try to cut this off here. Probably rather this actually pulls off, because it's probably going to be a nightmare to get off the frame here. But let's see. Okay, well, there it is, and I'm not sure if you guys can see or not, but the crazing is really bad. If you can see this outline here, that is where my brother-in-law leaned against this a couple years ago with sunscreen on, recently applied, and the outline. I was avoiding cleaning these things frequently just because, you know, they scratch easily. So that just about a week on there, the sunscreen, you know, permanently damaged it. And I'm gonna go get the other one and show you how that goes in. Okay, here's the replacement piece, and I was a little worried that maybe the tape wasn't on these. I haven't opened them yet, so I wasn't sure what they had on them, but they do have some 3M, looks like double-sided, if you can see that, double-sided tape on there. So I'm going to probably wait till tomorrow and clean up the frame, get all this stuff off, maybe with a plastic razor blade, and then hit it with some denatured alcohol, and then stick the new one back on, and I guess do the same thing, 4200 the top and bottom, like they did, and see how it looks. So stay tuned. Okay, since my last little clip, it turns out I had the wrong panels. I had panels for a game fish model, so I've been waiting for the replacements, and here it is. And I've cleaned up the port side here, just like I have the starboard, and they actually sent me 2 port sides, so I will be putting this in and then the starboard when it comes later next week. So I've got this all cleaned up with, put this on here, got the frame cleaned up here, and I got a tube of 4200, and I'm gonna squeeze it up on top and bottom like they did from the factory and put this new one in here. So here we go. Okay, so I'm not quite sure why I'm 4200ing the top. Well, when they got the tape, I guess to keep water, you want the bead to squish out. So I'm not gonna do a whole lot. That'll flatten out to a nice patch there. And then the bottom, I think I really just wanna make sure this edge has it squish out so there won't be a depression for water to sit in. So I'm gonna focus on this top edge here, and I'll speed this up in the YouTube part. Don't want that to fall. So the sides I'm not going to worry about. So we'll see how this looks when I get it all put on and go from there. Don't want that squishing out. Okay, I peeled the protective the tape off the film off the double-sided tape. I looked at this with the tape on. It's kind of like, I think once I stick it, it's stuck. So I'm gonna try and get this right here. And based on earlier, this is about a 1/4 inch up here, and match that curve. All right. Well, it's stuck. Let's see what's on the inside. It's squished on there pretty good. There's a little gap I see there. So let's push, make sure this is good here. I've got a denatured alcohol soaked rag. I'm gonna wipe that caulk line with there. There's still a little bit of light showing through if you can see, but anyways. Okay, it's in. Looks pretty good. The edges look pretty good. One thing I wouldn't do, I'm not gonna do on the other side. You can see I smoothed that caulk line out. It's already crazing. It's brand new right there. Great. So sorry for my shadow. One thing, it had the masking on the inside that when I peeled it, the paint, I guess they paint this black border, and the paint flaked off when I peeled it. You can see a few pieces stuck there in the caulk, which is going to bother me, but I won't do it on the other side. So there it is, installed, and looks pretty good. It's a lot, you know, it's hard to beat new. That's nice and clear. So hopefully this helped anybody doing this, but make sure you get it in the right place before you press it down, because it's not going to move otherwise.